You're asking the president to be political with the safety of 219 girls. I think I have a slight issue with that, because you're saying he should be politically correct, but this might not be the reality of what is on ground. That creates an issue for me.
He should. I said, what if?
Okay, what if he was political? Okay, Nigerians would have gone home after his media chat with a lot of hope, but to what end? We had this hope under the Jonathan administration. We're still having this same hope under the presidency of Muhammad Buhari. But we need results. And if this man, I don't care what the president says. If he comes tomorrow and says there's no information about the Chibok girls, I'd rather have him say there's no information about Chibok girls, and then tomorrow he produces these girls and say, oh, we're doing something about it, and 4 years down the line, there are no results to show it. We can keep dragging that, towing that line and say every day, all you need to be is an orator. Know the right things to say, and then you can spoil the crowd and play to the Galleria. It's easy.
Let's move on now. It's a very sensitive issue. I mean, hopefully this investigation is going to be the last one. Hopefully we get results from it. That's all I guess a lot of us are hoping, especially the parents of these girls. So let's move on now from the Chibok girls now, and move on to all of the security issues in the country. I mean, the Northeast is still having its many issues. The Southeast is starting to look like the tension is hot and cold here and there. In the last week now, the Niger Delta has started blowing up again, and we heard of militants blowing up pipelines, and it looks like something that we had forgotten for about 8-9 years seems to be coming back again into the national picture.
Ebuka, I'm disappointed with a lot of Nigerians, because when I heard the story of the bomb blast, the oil pipeline vandalization in the Southeast, I expected a united front from Nigerians, particularly on social media, because we observe things from the social media angle, and I saw a number of people, who were supposedly showing solidarity or support to what the Niger Delta militants are doing, and they're justifying this in saying that the president was holding on to Nnamdi Kanu and was violating court orders, and the court order for the arrest of government Tompolo and stuff like that as their justification for people blowing up oil pipeline installation in the Niger Delta. That is sad, to say the least. We're facing Boko Haram. We've not even succeeded. Like you said, we thought this militancy thing was something that we had addressed as a nation, and we've moved past it. To drag us back 6-7 years it breaks my heart. I look at this situation, and sometimes I don't have the words to qualify the emotions that gush up in me. I do not think that we should, for any reason, be facing issues like this anymore. We've settled the Niger Delta issue. Let's just move on. Whoever...
Did you really settle it, though?
Yes. There was a negotiation. They asked what they wanted. They wanted an amnesty program put in place, which the last administration put in place for them. And this present government has continued with that, with those efforts. I don't see any reason why anybody should instigate violence in the Niger Delta. The government has been magnanimous to them. It's the only place in the world where...
Same magnanimous is relative now.
It's the only place in the world where they do. I'm sorry, where militants have been negotiated with. An amnesty offered to militants. I don't know. I'm not a historian, but I don't think I've read it anywhere else in the world where such an arrangement has been reached before, except for in Nigeria. I don't know what they want.
No, that's not totally correct. Again, you see, it's all politics. There was a genuine agitation when it started. The Sarwi was extremely genuine, and Obasanjo came in. It became extremely political. These issues date back to the 1999s. Now, what we have on ground now is a politically instigated crisis. I mean, the eruption you're having in Niger Delta. And so it requires a twofold dimension in terms of solution. One, the president also needs to play the politics and enforce his will and his authority, or assert his authority as the commander-in-chief. Enter into negotiations with these guys. They know who they are. It all came when the government Tompolo guy was going to be arrested. It only came when it was announced he's been declared wanted, and we saw eruption, happening again in Niger Delta. So they didn't play the politics who the right guys are. The government knows them. Government has incredible intel on these guys, and then enforce law and order. It's as simple as that. He wouldn't win it. He wouldn't win it by enforcing law and order without playing the politics, and that's the simple truth.
Because this is us going round in circles.
Well,
he says something that we should negotiate with these guys again. It will be the third or the fourth time, if I'm correct. That government will call these people to a round table and negotiate with them. It's become a norm for them to create problem for every government in power, so they can get something out of government. It's not done. I thought it's not particularly. I'm okay. Let's forget. I'm not one to cast blame on the past administration. That's gone. I don't expect President Buhari to call Nigeria data militants to a negotiation table. I don't expect it, because if he does that,
so what do you expect?
It's going to resolve the issue.
So what do you expect from the government now? Because I mean, you've said a lot of things, but like his story was talking about solutions. Now, what do you see the government doing to stop this from becoming a whole other issue again?
Okay, now let's look at this. The former government took the part of negotiation. It seemed to have worked. Okay, now when that government left power and that government came into play, we're having the same issues again. If they go into the negotiation again, it will. I'm confident that it will appear to have worked. I'm looking at a situation where the full extent of the law is people are made to face. Let there be actions and clear-cut consequences. Let's not pat those who are doing wrong on the head and say, okay, come. Let's have a negotiation, and then what do you want from the government? And then we'll put some things in their hands, and then they go away. If that happens with this government takes pieces, glorified peace, so to say, is restored. If Buhari does not contest for election in 2019, whoever becomes president in 2019 has to go back to this circle all over again. It's just like it's a vicious circle that we're going around in. At some point, we need to call their bluff, and this is the time to do so.
Well, you cannot do that 100%, and I can assure you won't succeed. Nigeria is different from every other country in the world. It's a peculiar state. Enforce the law, as I said. But you have to enter the negotiations with the genuine people, not the Asari Dokubos, not the Tompolos. When I say enter into negotiations, I mean go into this community and see what people are doing. Look at what people are suffering. I mean, if it's water supply, get that done for the ordinary people on the street. Government can do that through
government has done that. I think
that's not correct.
One of the first things the Buhari presidency did when it came into power was the cleansing of the Ogoni land. You know,
no, but it's ongoing. Yes. Have you ever been to the Niger Delta before?
I have.
Have you seen what these ordinary people go through?
I'm not talking about what I understand their pain, but you have to understand that it's the Asari Dokubos. I don't mean to mention names. It's this militants, in quote, that the ones who are fomenting trouble. It's not the ordinary Bayelsan on the street or the ordinary Deltan on the streets. No. They're not the ones. They have genuine, like you said, they have genuine agitations. What government should be responsible to them for, and I believe this government has the capability and the capacity to be responsible for them for that. And that's what I'm asking. Let government play its part and call their bluffs.
All right.
Then you're coming back to the exact point I raised earlier on.
What are they asking for?
I'm saying let the government go to the community and see what people are facing. It's as simple as that.
Oh, that's what you mean by negotiation?
Absolutely, not with the militants. I mean, I have no business with them.
All right. Let's leave that now. And just on the final note now, we talked about the Biafran issue as well. This last week was the 50th anniversary, if you can use that word, of the beginning of the Nigerian Civil War, which was in 1966. And it's almost as if most of the issues we had then have still not gone away. As a word of advice from you, very smart young people, as a closing notes from this, what would you say to the government going forward for Nigeria? Very quickly.
You go.
Well, it's the same problem we've had over the years. A question of leadership, by example. I think a Buhari presidency affords or presents Nigerians with a very good opportunity to make a mark. All he needs to do is to back up his words with action. I think he can do it. He needs to listen to the genuine yearnings of Nigerians on the street. I see them every day. That's my constituency. The very, very poor people. What do they need? Power supply.
But these are long-term solutions.
Well, it won't come overnight. But you have to take concrete steps.
Okay, great stuff.
Ebuka,
very quickly, please.
I think the president, this administration should endeavor to deliver on all of its promises. That's one. But that's my word for the government. But I need to quickly downturn it by asking Nigerians to not downsize their expectations, but we should be reasonable in our expectations. I think I've spoken to a lot of people who are out of tune with this government simply because they expected instant results and they're not getting it. It will take time. And when I say time, I don't mean a short time. It's a long road down.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Thank you very much, Muyiwa, for that very interesting and engaging conversation. Thanks for being here today. We're going to take a short break now and be right back on Rubbin Minds. Please stay with us.